All right, everybody. Congratulations on finishing up week one. Let's take a look at week two. So, in week one, you were looking at internal geologic processes with plate tectonics, making mountains, and subduction, and earthquakes, all of that. This week, we're talking about the surface, and we're looking at surface processes, meaning water running over all the landforms that were created, eroding sediments, carrying them down, depositing them, and what goes on with all of that. Because we live on the surface, these tend to be much more familiar to us, so hopefully this week will feel a little bit more comfortable to you. What are you doing this week? Well, you've got a discussion board. So every week you'll have your discussion board. And this week, your discussion board asks you to take a look at the risks in your area from geological processes. So when you do that, your research on it is to go back to the video that you just watched in week one that showed all of those dangers and take a look at your area. Where are you in plate tectonics? Where is your area? Would you expect it to be high risk from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, or not, and why? If you're not at high risk, then what other geologic dangers might there be in your area? So think about that. When you write your discussion board post, know that you're also going to save this chunk of text once you get feedback on it, and you're going to save it, and then at the end of the course you're going to plug that in to your final project. So let's take just a moment to talk about your final project. Everything we're doing in this course builds to that final project. You are characterizing your area, the area where you live. You're going to tell us about the geology of it. You're going to tell us about the environmental geology of it. And so this chunk of geologic dangers is going to go in that portion. And then the flyers that you make each week will go in that part of your final project. So you're going to tell us about your area, and then you're going to be writing field logs. So you're going to go out into your area, you're going to explore it, and we'll come back to that in a second when we talk about the field logs. So everything you do in this course will build to it. And this week, you do your discussion board, which we just talked about, and then you do your fact sheet. So this week, your fact sheet is going to be about the environmental geology in your area. Because we each live in such different places, there are a lot of different topics that you could choose from. So you're going to think about your area and think about what might be most important to your area. Is it going to be streams and flooding? Will it be coastal zones and processes? Do you live along the beach? Will it be mass movements? So do you have landslides? Do you have slump and things like that in your area? Or do you live somewhere where there's a lot of farming and there may be a big need for the soil resources and then controlling the soil erosion? So just think about which will be the most interesting in your area. Pick that topic, and then as you do your reading this week, you're really going to focus on the one you pick. So you're going to skim everything with the reading, but really go in depth into what matters in your area. So when you look at the fact sheet assignment, you'll see written out some specific questions to answer for whichever of those you chose. Okay, so your questions will be different depending on which topic you choose. Make sure you try to answer all of them and then put that information into your fact sheet. The fact sheet, once it's completed, will eventually go into your final project. Okay, so you've done your discussion board. Now you've written your fact sheet for the week. Your third assignment this week is a field log issue paper. So you'll have one that you do in week 2, one that you do in week 3, and one that you do in week 4. What is this? Well, many of you mentioned in your introductions that you love to be outside, and that's great because I want you to go outside and look for something in your area that you can document. Photograph it, write about it, and submit it as a field log. So what kind of topic are we looking for? Well, for this week, you're looking for something that has to do with this week or last week's topics. So it could be plate tectonics, So if you have a volcano near you or a plate boundary near you or something like that. Geologic resources, do you have a mine near you? Streams, coastal processes, mass movement, soil erosion, and resources. Anything related to those that you see that you can go outside, take a picture of, document, and then look at the assignment there. See what's being asked specifically. You're going to write about it. There's also an example there for you to take a look at. If you can't get outside, and I do understand that there may be some cases where you may not be able to, contact me ahead of time and I am happy to help you to make accommodations so that you can still complete this assignment, but it would be just slightly different. Okay, so again, you're doing your discussion board, initial post, and then a response post. You're doing your fact sheet for the week, and you are going to do your first field log issue paper. Please email me if you have any questions. I've had a few of you email me already asking for some help finding resources. I am happy to do that. If you are not sure that what you have done is what I'm looking for, email me and send me what you've done, and I'm happy to take a look at it and give you feedback. All right, I look forward to keeping on reading your work. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email, and I am very happy to help. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.